My first trip to the Pahsimeroi Valley was in the fall of 1941. My father, Ernest Hemingway, brought me and my brothers out here on a big antelope hunt. I seem to remember spending most of my time just hunting trout. But we weren't the first to hunt the Pahsimeroi Valley. Long before man had fashioned his first primitive weapons, the shadow of another hunter, the golden eagle, floated silently across the valley floor. The Pahsimeroi is a long, arid plain that crouches between two mountain ranges, the Lemhi to the east and the Lost River Range to the west. It is the hunting grounds of the golden eagle. They soar down from the cliffs to search for jackrabbits, leaving the story of the hunt behind in the snow. Tracks of the prey and the signature of the golden eagle, the imprint of a wingtip shadowing the layer of white.
And this is what we look for. We look for signs that eagles have been there, so we look for eagle tracks.
Wildlife artist and raptor biologist Erica Craig has turned the tables on the golden eagle. He has become the hunted.
We will trap in areas where there are dense concentrations of jackrabbits because the eagles will be hanging out there.
Erica and her husband, biologist Tim Craig, are trapping birds like this immature male to check for signs of lead poisoning in free-ranging golden eagles.
Years ago, we noticed that there were quite a few birds that were being turned into Fish and Game, the rehab programs, that were exhibiting symptoms of lead poisoning. And so it kind of alerted us.
The question is whether the high lead levels run in the entire population of the area. Each trapped bird is marked with a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band and a brightly colored leg marker so Erica and Tim can identify it from a distance.
We are the only people in the country with this color of leg band. And so, if someone were to report a green leg-banded eagle, it would be from our study.
Next, measurements are taken. This helps to determine if it's a male or female. In most raptor species, the female is larger than the male.
A female would be more like 66, 67. The last measurement is a head measurement, so we'll have to take the hood off for that. This bird will struggle a little bit, but not too much.
He's named for the bright, distinctive feathers on the back of his head. From his burnished crown to his amazing talons, the golden eagle is built to hunt.
And this is where the real power comes from. The helix, the hind toe with this really large talon is they're the grappling and the killing instruments for the golden eagle. When they catch a jackrabbit, they actually embed those talons into the animal and kill it with them.
The most critical test is the blood sample. This will be sent to a laboratory to determine if this free-ranging golden eagle has elevated lead levels in his system. Preliminary results are indicating that there is a problem in the population, prompting Erica and Tim to plan the second part of the study, a research project to determine where the lead is coming from. By early summer, the team is seeking out the rugged cliffs where the golden eagle builds her nest.
We're going to attempt to rappel into it. It doesn't look like it's overhung too much. And we'll climb to the top of the nest and above it and attempt to tie off and then rappel down into the nest.
The idea is to take a blood sample from the nestlings to see if they too have lead in their systems.
That is to try to determine if these young eagles are getting lead from the prey that's being brought into them, from their food. Obviously, a nestling eagle has never been anywhere else except in the nest, and the prey is going to have come from someplace fairly close to that nest. This bag has everything in it that you need for blood samples and for banding and for measuring.
It is critical to test the nestlings when they are about to fledge or leave the nest. This allows the longest possible time for them to accumulate lead in their systems.
You don't like to see that.
Golden eagles don't exhibit the same behavior that some of the other raptors do, in that they're not real aggressive at the nest site. And so you don't generally see a golden eagle screaming and diving on a raptor biologist going into a nest.
The incredible dimensions of the nest become apparent as Tim drops alongside. He stands quietly so the nestlings aren't alarmed. But this young female decides the time has come for her maiden flight.
We'll go catch that bird and process it on the ground.
Kim leaves the nest site immediately to prevent the other nestling from testing her wings. It's not often that a bird fledges in this situation, but it's always a risk. The young female has landed safely below the cliff and is found within minutes by the biologists.
This bird is probably between 70 and 75 days of age.
The young eagle is banded and measured. She's already the size of an adult bird, but it will be 4 years before she loses the white mottled feathering and becomes sexually mature.
And you can see I got the vein exposed pretty well there.
The blood sample will be sent to a lab and analyzed for lead contamination, and the young female will be sent back up the cliff. She's left on a ledge below the nest where the adults will be certain to find her. The golden eagle is on top of the food chain, much like human beings. What happens to them may become a problem for us.
They're a barometer of environmental health, so they're something that set off warning signals. They're kind of like the canary in the mine shaft, basically.